Gee, that would make quite a mess. Anyway, away from the boulevards of Hollywood and Wilshire Drive and Rodeo Drive, it's not every day you get 3 Academy Award winners in the same street, especially if that street happens to be in North Belfast.
Yes, well, the stars are in a movie about a lost ring, which has brought the limelight to Fort William. Our arts correspondent Maggie Taggart has been on set and has found out it's a nice little earner for some local residents.
No, it's not Pound Street. That's a fake sign for what is actually Fort William Parade in North Belfast. It's been taken over by the film crew directed by the Oscar-winning Lord Attenborough for a romantic drama inspired by a wartime tragedy on Cave Hill. It's rumoured to be costing more than £11 million, and the star is another Oscar winner, Shirley MacLaine. She plays Ethel, whose lover's gold ring is lost in a wartime air crash and finally returned to her 50 years later. Lord Attenborough has assembled a top-notch cast, including Pete Postlethwaite, Christopher Plummer, Brenda Fricker and Misha Barton.
They've been on the set since 6 this morning. They've closed off streets, they've taken up all the parking spaces, and is anyone annoyed? Not one bit of it. They're all just delighted to see a film set in Fort William.
People living in the surrounding streets were asked to audition for parts as extras.
It's been bad, and there's just been like people everywhere because they've put up all these walls, and then this used to be a derelict building. It was originally a chemist, and then they did it into a shop.
Was it been very upsetting and disruptive for you?
No, not at all. Everybody's just happy because like you're getting a film filmed on your doorstep.
One family returned today from holiday to a shocking takeover of their street.
My friend told me that there's a film on your street and we couldn't get in front of your house. So, and it's all right because anyway, I've seen some of filming a movie, so that's all.
These children aren't taking a holiday lie-in, they're extras too for the indoor scenes.
The children had to be here from 8:30 this morning, and all the adults had to been here from 6 o'clock in the morning.
Are you getting paid for this, do you think?
£55 a day.
That's great. What are you going to do with it?
I'm getting a bike. I get the DVD.
Probably not as much as the director and the stars earn, but a lot better than pocket money. Maggie Taggart, BBC Newsline, Fort William.
55.
Yeah, that's like £1 million to those young ones.
I was once an extra in an Indian movie in Madras, and I got £3 a day and all the curry I could eat. Times have changed.
Lived here during World War II. She remembers the American bomber plane crashing into Cave Hill, the story that this movie is based on.
It was a terrible night, a terrible experience. To come in the morning and see your home lying in the road and the water running down the park. The boys had to run to their posts and the Starins went. Those boys should never be forgotten.
Mary is one of many residents who live nearby who's been popping out every day to watch the movie being made.
It was very exciting, and I have to say some of the residents thought that they were the show. They were stars of the show because there's so many people in the neighbourhood that know them and came to see how they're doing. A lot of people actually remember what had happened when the plane crashed.
It's been a very exciting week for the residents of this North Belfast street. Filming will go on until Friday when they'll finally be told it's a wrap. Lindsay Armstrong, GMTV News, Belfast.
Now let's have a look at today's weather.
Take a deep breath and shout.
Me for old rope. Unbelievable, some of those items. Very novel indeed. Now, you may have heard an unusual roar from an aircraft flying over Belfast today. It was, in fact, a World War II bomber paying tribute to 10 American airmen who died in a crash on Cave Hill.
Well, the story, of course, is soon to be immortalised in a Hollywood film, but today, 62 years later, the man got their memorial. BBC Newsline's Julian O'Neill was there for us.
The B-17 bomber flew in from Britain to perform a tribute flypast. In doing so, it came over the exact spot where 62 years to the day the 10 crewmen died. Among those at today's service was a man who, as a 10-year-old, saw the bomber hit the hillside in heavy fog.
It has stayed with me all these years, and it was wonderful to see that B-17 flying over because I literally hadn't seen one from that day to this. So it's very, very emotive to see it flying over and to realise that I was probably the last one to see the poor fellows.
300,000 US servicemen were here at some point during the war, and this new memorial is also a symbol of that bond.
This tribute today is not only a symbol of the great sacrifice that so many made in the cause of freedom, but it is also a symbol of the enduring ties that bind Northern Ireland and the United States.
One crewman's wedding ring was found at this site decades after the crash and was returned to his widow by a local man in a story that's inspired a Hollywood film.
We can really thank the interest that's come into Belfast currently with the film production, because it inspired the council to do this off their own bat.
The B-17 was one of the war's most famous combat aircraft. Today it came out of retirement to honour its fallen. Julian O'Neill, BBC Newsline on Cave Hill.